Welcome guys, and how are you? Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. These are the names of the planets in our solar system, and this is not the only information we know. The solar system contains a huge number of amazing facts and curiosities. Welcome to the Random Channel. In this episode, we will talk about amazing facts about the solar system. Before we start, if you are new, do not forget to subscribe and activate the guard to receive our videos first. Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun, and its year is only 88 Earth days. And because of its high rotation speed around the Sun, ancient civilizations believed it was two planets. One appears during the day and the other at night. Although its year is short compared to Earth, its rotation around itself, which is one day, is considered very large compared to the Earth day. One day on Mercury is equivalent to 58.6 Earth days. Because of its small size and low gravity, it is too weak to have an atmosphere, which makes the temperature on its surface reach 430 degrees Celsius and decrease to 170 degrees Celsius below zero. The surface of Mercury is similar to the surface of the Moon due to the presence of many craters. Although its year is short compared to Earth, its rotation around itself, which is one day, is considered very large compared to the Earth day. One day on Mercury is equivalent to 58.6 Earth days. Because of its small size and low gravity, it is too weak to have an atmosphere, which makes the temperature on its surface reach 430 degrees Celsius and decrease to 170 degrees Celsius below zero. The surface of Mercury is similar to the surface of the Moon due to the presence of many craters. The largest crater on its surface is the crater known as the Caloris Basin, which has a diameter estimated at 1,550 kilometers. The second closest planet to the Sun is Venus, and despite this, it is the hottest planet. The temperature on the surface of Venus is greater than the temperature on the surface of Mercury, which is contrary to popular belief. The reason that makes it hotter is that it has a very strong atmosphere. The atmosphere of Venus is 93 times stronger than that of the Earth. This is what makes global warming on the surface of the planet a terrible thing. For this reason, its temperature in any season is approximately 460 degrees Celsius. By the way, this temperature is enough to melt the element lead, without mentioning that there is sulfur rain falling on the surface of the planet all the time. The first landing on its surface occurred in 1970 by a Soviet spacecraft. But the mission failed because the spacecraft melted from the temperature. However, despite this, the spacecraft was able to send us pictures before it melted, and through them, we learned that the planet is geologically active and has about 1,600 volcanoes. In 1900 AD, a valuable prize was offered to the first person who could find life on other planets, but the organizers of the competition removed Mars from the list because they believed that Mars already had life on it. And for that reason, they wanted to search for other planets with life other than Mars. What is even more surprising is that in 1938, when director Orson Welles made a radio episode inspired by the famous story War of the Worlds, this show caused a huge uproar because people believed that this talk was true, and that there were creatures that would descend from Mars and take over the Earth. Although Mars is much smaller than Earth, it has the highest volcanic peak in the entire solar system, which reaches about 27 kilometers. This peak is the peak of Mount Olympus. Mars has seasons very similar to those of Earth, because its axis is tilted at an angle similar to the Earth's. What is surprising is that satellite imaging has shown that Mars has empty channels and canals carved on the surface, suggesting that water was flowing on the planet's surface long ago. However, due to the weakness of its atmosphere, it is likely that the water bodies were destroyed by violent solar winds that caused all the water to evaporate. What increases the likelihood of this belief is that there is indeed water on the surface of Mars at the poles, but it is frozen water with a large percentage of carbon dioxide. The largest hurricane in the entire solar system is the Great Red Spot on the surface of Jupiter. The spot is so huge that it could swallow two planets the size of Earth. The storm in this spot rises 8 kilometers above the clouds, and the wind speed is estimated at 800 kilometers per hour. It emits a sound that is enough to make you deaf just by hearing it. The strange thing is that no one knows when this hurricane appeared and how. Because when Jupiter was first observed, the hurricane was already there. This spot is not just a giant hurricane on the surface of Jupiter, but it is likely that this spot is what supplies Jupiter with all its heat. The reason for this is that scientists are very confused about understanding the temperature of Jupiter's surface. Jupiter has the same temperature as Earth, even though it is 5 times farther from the Sun than us. This is one of the many oddities surrounding the gas giant. The most distinctive thing about Saturn is the rings. Although it is likely that the planet was formed with the birth of the Sun about 4.5 billion years ago, however, researchers working on the Cassini project discovered that the rings themselves were formed recently. They may have even been formed while dinosaurs were roaming the Earth's surface. They suggested that the reason for these creations is due to a giant icy comet that was present in the Kuiper Belt region and was linked to Saturn's gravitational field. But it disintegrated over time due to the planet's enormous gravity. One of the interesting things is that if an icy comet approached the Earth and was able to hold it with its gravity, it is possible that it would disintegrate and rings would form around the Earth like Saturn. Although it is a beautiful sight, the sky will rain meteors all the time. Titan is the largest moon of Saturn and the second largest moon in the solar system. When the Huygens probe landed on it in 2005, they found that the terrain on the surface of this moon is similar to that of Earth. It contains river cavities, oceans, plains, and terrain very similar to those found on the surface of our Earth. It also contains an excellent atmosphere. Although these things make you think about colonizing this moon, it is not rich in oxygen at all, but it is very rich in methane gas, which rains down on it like rain. Uranus is the 7th farthest planet from the Sun and the 3rd largest planet in the solar system. It was discovered in 1781 AD by the scientist William Herschel. The planet is similar in composition to Neptune, Saturn, and Jupiter, and is classified as an ice giant. It is composed of hydrogen and helium gas, and contains proportions of water ice and methane. Uranus's atmosphere is the coldest in the solar system, with a temperature of approximately 224 degrees below zero. One of the strange things about Uranus is that it also has rings similar to those of Saturn. But the most amazing thing that distinguishes it is that its axial tilt is very strange. Its tilt is equal to its rotation around the Sun, which makes its north and south poles located in place of the equator on Earth. This makes summer or winter last for 42 consecutive years. In 1846, scientists noticed that there were disturbances in the path of the planet Uranus. They hypothesized that there was a huge planet behind it, and indeed, it was discovered. The existence of the planet Neptune is a gaseous planet similar to Uranus, Jupiter, and Saturn. It completes an orbit around the Sun every 165 years, and one day on Earth is equivalent to 16 Earth hours. Although Neptune is 4 times larger than Earth, but this is due to the speed of its rotation around itself. The distance between it and the Sun is 30 times greater than the distance between it and Earth. The temperature of the planet due to the cold clouds on it reaches 220 degrees Celsius below zero. Neptune is known for its blue color, and the reason for acquiring this color specifically is that it possesses methane gas in huge quantities. The largest moon of the planet is the moon Triton, but unfortunately this moon has strong explosions of gases that rise hundreds of kilometers due to Neptune's strong gravity, and for this reason it is expected that in the future Neptune will destroy its moon, Triton. The Sun itself is a wondrous world. It alone represents 99.98% of the mass of the entire solar system. This is what makes it include all the planets, moons, billions of asteroids and comets in its gravity. It is also amazing that the Sun loses about 500 million kilograms of its huge mass every second, which is converted into energy that provides us with warmth and light. The Sun completes a revolution around the center of our galaxy every 225 to 250 million light-years. The Sun is in a constant state of activity. Its surface is subject to atomic explosions that can reach the size of 30 Earths. These atomic explosions throw electrified particles called solar winds, which can eventually reach the Earth's surface. If they do reach it, they cause a phenomenon that needs no introduction called the aurora borealis. If the solar winds are stronger than necessary, they can cause satellite orbits to be disrupted or destroyed. In some rare cases, they can also cause power outages in many places on the Earth's surface. Finally, if you liked this episode and want more facts about the planets of our solar system and space, we will upload more. You can subscribe and activate the bell if you like to receive all that is new.